The Lady of Shallot, Part 1. On either side the river lay, long fields of barley and of ray, that cloth the wold and meet the sky, and through the field the road runs by, to many towered Camelot. And up and down the people go, gazing where the lilies blow, round an island there below, the island of Shalot. Willows whiten, aspens quiver, little breezes dusk and shiver, through the wave that runs for ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot. 4 grey walls and 4 grey towers overlook a space of flowers, and the silent isle embowers the Lady of Shalot. By the margin, willow veiled, slide the heavy barges trailed, by slow horses and unhailed, the Shalot flittant silken sailed, skimming down to Camelot. But who has seen her wave her hand, or at the casement seen her stand, or is she known in all the land, the Lady of Shalot? Only reapers, reaping early, in among the bearded barley, hear a song that echoes cheerly, from the river winding clearly, down to towered Camelot. And by the moon the reaper weary, piling sheaves in uplands airy, listening, whispers, 'tis the fairy Lady of Shalot. Part 2. There she weaves by night and day, a magic web with colours gay. She has heard a whisper say, a curse is on her if she stay, to look down to Camelot. She knows not what the curse may be, and so she weaveth steadily, and little other care has she, the Lady of Shalot. And moving through a mirror clear, that hangs before her all the year, shadows of the world appear, there she sees the highway near, winding down to Camelot. There the river eddy whirls, and there the Shirley village churls, and the red cloaks of market girls pass onward from Shalot. Sometimes a troop of damsels glad, an abbot on an ambling pad, sometimes a curly shepherd lad, or long-haired page in crimson clad, goes by to towered Camelot. And sometimes through the mirror blue, the knights come riding 2 and 2. She hath no loyal knight and true, the Lady of Shalot. But in her web she still delights to weave the mirror's magic sights, for often through the silent nights a funeral with plumes and lights and music went to Camelot. Or when the moon was overhead, came 2 young lovers lately wed. I am half sick of shadows, said the Lady of Shalot. Part 3. A bowshot from her bower eaves, he rode between the barley sheaves. The sun came dazzling through the leaves, and flamed upon the brazen greaves of bold Sir Lancelot. A red cross knight for ever kneeled to a lady in his shield, that sparkled on the yellow field beside remote Shalot. The gemmy bridle glittered free, like some branch of stars we see, hung in the golden galaxy. The bridal bells rang merrily as he rode down to Camelot, and from his blazoned baldric slung a mighty silver bugle hung, and as he rode his armour rung beside remote Shalot. All in the blue unclouded weather, thick jewels shone in the saddle leather, the helmet and the helmet feather burned like one blaming flame together as he rode down to Camelot. As often through the purple night, below the starry clusters bright, some bearded meteor, travelling light, moves over still Shalot. His broad clear brow in sunlight glowed, on burnished hooves his warhorse trode, from underneath his helmet flowed his coal-black curls as on he rode down to Camelot. From the bank and from the river, he flashed into the crystal mirror. Tirra-lirra by the river, sang Sir Lancelot. She left the web, she left the loom, she made 3 paces through the room. She saw the water lily bloom, she saw the helmet and the plume. She looked down to Camelot. Out flew the web and floated wide. The mirror cracked from side to side. The curse is come upon me, cried the Lady of Shallot. Part 4. In the stormy east wind straining, the pale yellow woods were waning. The broad stream in his banks complaining, heavily the low sky raining, over-towered Camelot. Down she came and found a boat, beneath a willow left afloat, and round about the prose she wrote, the Lady of Shalot. And down the river's dim expanse, like some bold seer in a trance, seeing all his own mischance, with a glassy countenance, did she look to Camelot. And at the closing of the day, she loosed the chain and down she lay. The broad stream bore her far away, the Lady of Shalot. Lying, robed in snowy white, that loosely flew to left and right, the leaves upon her falling light, through the noises of the night, she floated down to Camelot. And as the boathead wound along, the willowy hills and fields among, they heard her singing her last song, the Lady of Shalot. Heard a carol, mournful holy, chanted loudly, chanted lowly, till her blood was frozen slowly, and her eyes were dark and holy, turned to towered Camelot. For ere she reached upon the tide, the first house by the waterside, singing in her song she died, the Lady of Shalot. Under tower and balcony, by garden wall and gallery, a gleaming shape she floated by, dead pale between the houses high, silent into Camelot. Out upon the wharfs they came, knight and burgher, lord and dame, and round the prow they read her name, the Lady of Shalot. Who is this, and what is here? And in the lighted palace near died the sound of royal cheer. And they crossed themselves for fear, all the knights at Camelot. But Lancelot mused a little space. He said, she has a lovely face. God in his mercy lend her grace, the Lady of Shalot.